My name is Ithamar Turenne. I am a Columbia nursing grad. Graduated in maybe it was 2019. I've lost track of time now. So I am now working at ULA Health, which is, like we like to call it, a modern day maternity practice. We hear all over the news, all over media, maternal mortality, especially in women of color. So this practice, we're not aiming just to look at women of color. We're looking at all women, but we want to ensure that they're getting quality care. I was a bio pre-med major. I knew since the age of 4 I was going to be a doctor. And then I worked really hard. I went to undergrad at Syracuse University. I was there for 4 years. I'm like, I have to be a bio pre-med major. And honestly, looking back, I wish that was not my major. And throughout the years, I've worked in oncology research where I worked as a coordinator. And a patient and his wife kept coming in and I would sit with them and they always asked me, so Ithamar, what are you doing next? And I never really thought about it. And they're like, you should be a nurse. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be a nurse. And finally, I really thought about it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm here working at Columbia. Let me just apply to Columbia. If I get in, I'll go. If I don't, I'm not going to nursing school. I got in. My fiance was probably one of the earlier cases of COVID, so that's where it hit home. That was early March. And at that point, it was one day, oh, you can see there were visitors. Then the next day, it was complete lockdown of the hospital and no visitors at all. So that was my first encounter with COVID. All the while I was still working. Luckily, I was working in an area, I was working in postpartum, so we started seeing cases, but definitely not as grave as places like the ICU or medical surgical unit. So it wasn't as sad, I guess. A lot of other people in my life then started to get diagnosed, and unfortunately my father did get COVID and he had no idea. And my mother, unfortunately, also caught it and did pass from COVID. So I coordinated her end of life care, and it was hard. But here we are, like a year plus later. She died in April, and slowly just getting back to whatever normal is, but that pain still resides. Honestly, the thing about LCU Fund is that one word, it's like a family. It's women led, and I feel like there's so many organizations right now that are up and coming and they're looking for the foundation that LCU has, and the board is just amazing. And they came at a time when a little extra TLC in the form of, monetary assistance to help me with my apartment that I was still living in while in nursing school, it just came at the right time, and I'm forever grateful for that. And winning the presidential award just allowed me to continue the relationship that I've built with them. And, we still stay in contact, whether it's on LinkedIn or just emails. And I'm like, this is a family. And for me, just allowing my mom to be a part of that event 2 years ago, that's always going to hold a special place in my heart.